What other major protests occurred in the 1960s? What other major protests occurred in the 1960s? The decade was a whirlwind of activism, with numerous movements shaping the social and political landscape. One of the most notable was the civil rights movement. This movement aimed to end racial segregation and discrimination against African Americans. Key events included the Montgomery bus boycott, sparked by Rosa Parks' refusal to give up her seat. This boycott lasted over a year and was a significant step towards equality. Another landmark event was the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom in 1963. This gathering drew over 250,000 people and featured Martin Luther King Jr. delivering his iconic "I Have a Dream" speech. This moment became a defining point in the struggle for civil rights and inspired many to join the cause. The student movement also emerged as a powerful force in the 1960s. College campuses became hotbeds for activism, focusing on issues like free speech and opposition to the Vietnam War. Students organized protests and sit-ins, demanding change and challenging traditional political structures. Speaking of the Vietnam War, the anti-Vietnam War movement gained significant traction throughout the decade. Major protests took place, including the Spring Mobilization Committee to end the war in Vietnam in 1967. This event attracted hundreds of thousands of demonstrators in cities like San Francisco and New York, showcasing the growing discontent with the war. The women's movement also made strides during this time. Women began to advocate for gender equality and reproductive rights, challenging societal norms and fighting for equal opportunities in the workplace and education. Additionally, the environmental movement began to take shape in the 1960s. Concerns about pollution and conservation became more prominent, laying the groundwork for future environmental activism. Lastly, the gay rights movement started to emerge, with the Stonewall riots in 1969 marking a turning point. This event symbolized a shift towards more open activism and demands for equality for the LGBTQ+ community. These protests were not just isolated events, they reflected the era's social and political tensions. They contributed to lasting changes in American society. The Black Power salute at the 1960 Olympics was part of this broader movement, highlighting the fight for racial equality and justice. The 1960s were indeed a time of vibrant activism, where people united to challenge the status quo and advocate for a more just society.